So I'll talk on my personal ABC of the translation project. So A, Arthur Benjamin's talk, Teach Statistics Before Cults. This was my first translation. So I did it in 2009, and this is a very short talk, about 3 minutes. So in that year, I already know the TED, but I found this OTP project somewhere in the TED site. So, but I have no experience in translation. So I started this. So I decided to start with a very short video. So I searched and find this short video, and I'm not confident at that time. So I searched in the internet and find someone who's writing about all the translation in her blog, and write letter to her, and could you review my talk? So after several mail exchange, the talk was reviewed and it was published. And the feedback from the reviewer was very positive, so I decided to do a little more, and then maybe next time I can do more better. So I started translating more talks and maybe in 29 I did more than 10 talks, including yes, more than 10 talks, and I was very fascinated with this open translation project. So what interested me was there are various points. So the talk itself is very interesting, and the presentation was very impressive, and also the nature of translation itself attracts me because it sounds like searching for tiny piece that fits the gap between English and Japanese. That kind of puzzle attracts me very well. And another thing is that, like this talk on Bill Gates or other talk by Al Gore or Daniel Kahneman, so very famous people's talk on there, and I can be the translator for their great talks. That also motivated me. And as Christina said, around 2009, the tools were a little bit different from these days. So we had the .sat, which is a translation system like prior to Amara, and at that time we had Google Groups mailing list among Japanese translators, mainly led by Kyushima-san, who is also an organizer of TEDx Ryukyu in Okinawa. So, and the people in the Google groups developed a spreadsheet which we are still kind of using for the reviewing process. And the mailing list was used to just request for review or other discussions, and we already have a very good community in the mailing list from the start, I think. So after doing maybe 20 or 30 translations, kind of my viewpoint get widened. So I started with my personal interest, and my motivation was firstly to make the talk available for kind of my friend or my family or my colleagues. Then this makes kind of a community work. So I realized that there are more translators than reviewers. So reviewers are fewer because anyone starts to OTP just by translating. No one starts by reviewing. So I decided to do most of review work to publish the subtitles. Then, as the number of the subtitles grow, sometimes there's a kind of conflict between videos. So this is a small story, but maybe you haven't seen this talk of by Brené Brown, The Power of Vulnerability, which is a very nice talk. And the word vulnerability is a little bit difficult word to translate because it has a dictionary meaning is Zéjaxé, which is very formal word, and we thought it is not appropriate for at least for the title of the talk. To Zéjaxé the chikara is not good, so we search for word, and there is a word yoasa, which is mainly translated to weakness, but in this kind of context, we can use yoasa as the translation of the vulnerability. So we choose to translate the title as yoasa, this quotation mark, yoasa to chikara. And it seems very nice at that time. Then, she made another talk in 2012 at the TED conference. The title of the talk was Listening to Shame. And in that talk, she said, vulnerability is not weakness, which was very shocking to us. Oh, I didn't know that. So, we first reviewer, translator reviewer, and the second translator reviewer have kind of communication. So after this talk, so we cannot keep this title. So it's very not good. So we search for words, but we did not unify the translation. So the people, the team who did the shame talk choose the Mubobisa as vulnerability translation, but we choose rather other words, kokoro no morosa, as in the subtitle, and have some different title. So that we selected so we did the title replaced this Kijutsu kokoro no chikara. Kind of the taste is very similar. The wording is different. So we keep the taste, but we choose other words that we can avoid the conflict. Then there comes the third talk. That is very nicely fits that this translation, 傷つかない心の代償. And also one thing I think interesting is there are three talks, and also translator, at least translator or reviewer is here, so I did this one, and Ueda-san did this one, and I-san did this one. So it kind of indicates how important her talk is, I think. So then, yes, as Krishna said, there's a language coordinator system study, and so I started working as a language coordinator since 2012, and basically my task is to do the third step of the publishing processes. And often when I work as an approval, as LC, I'm always thinking of to keep the waiting time shorter for the translator and reviewer. But sometimes it goes good, sometimes it takes a long time, sorry for that. And also, I noticed that we need to do some mentorship for the just starters. And then I went to this, this year, this March, I was happy to invite the TED Active and meet these the translators there. And also I noticed there that the movement of where we are going, where are the OTPs moving toward is, like he said, we need more talk that originate in not English, like Japanese talk should be more published in global TEDx channel. And in order to do that, the OTP members, the collaboration with TEDx organizer is very important to do this kind of work. And there's at the TED Active, I heard that there's a plan to list them up in, so build a playlist in, for example, playlist that the talk is original in Japanese. Then they to make a playlist that is a playlist of Japanese talks in sometimes in maybe in English or other languages. So one of these things are maybe the reason why we are gathered here today. And often I was asked by my friend or someone, why do you translate? And sometimes I answer them with introducing this talk, so this talk by Anwar Dabara, which is he's a very famous, one of the very famous talk translator. And in this talk, he says why he translates. He says we are crossing the border of the language, the border of the ideas, the border of the nationality, the border of the religion. So, like he said, yes, we can feel we are part of the very big thing, and the basic motivation is like these things.